Hey, fuck that shit, I'm going straight for they top. Money train Glock, no, I can't be stopped. Yeah, Atlanta bitch tryna give me that mop. Sloppy, top.
Pussies. Called the first one Savage, mold my mood. That's what it was. 2016.
New 21 Savage album, What Happened to the Streets, out this Friday. And gang, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited for this one. It's already confirmed, well, I believe it is already confirmed that Travis Scott, Lil Baby and also Young Thug are going to be featured on this album. For me personally, if we actually take it back to his last album, American Dream, which for me was a decent project, however, it did not feel like a 21 Savage album in my opinion. We had features from Brent Fayez, Summer Walker, Tommy Newport, Maria the Scientist, Mickey Echo and Doja Cat, and just from those names there, like, you can kind of understand where I'm coming from in terms of it not being a 21 Savage album. A 21 Savage album to me is something that includes Metro Boomin throughout majority of the album. That's not me saying that artists should stick to one style. However, I just really prefer, especially when it comes to 21 Savage's music, because he's sort of one-dimensional. I love his music, but I'm not afraid to say that he's definitely one-dimensional within this music thing. We know what he's going to say to us. We know the ad-libs he's going to deliver to us. However, I personally prefer them over Metro beats. One thing I have heard though, guys, is that Pierre Bourne will be producing a track that features Travis Scott and 21 Savage, which will be on the album this Friday. That in itself is crazy, because right behind me, if you guys can see, I've got Pierre Bourne, a vinyl there, Pierre Bourne and 21 Savage right here. I think 21 over Pierre's production will sound incredible. We heard something from, was it 21 Savage, Young Nudie? I know that 21 Savage featured on a Pierre project, so this isn't the first time. Songs. Am I bugging? I know I'm not bugging. Was this produced by Pierre? I don't know. No, that's featuring Lil Yachty. Peaches and Eggplants. That wasn't produced by Pierre. Am I missing something? EA. Was EA produced by Pierre? I'm not even too sure. But 21 Savage over a Pierre beat is definitely something to look forward to in itself. Going back to American Dream, I think 21 Savage just needs to take it back to the roots. And although artists get criticized for, featuring Travis Scott all the time, Lil Baby, Young Thug, people get up online and say that they're mandatory features. Although, in my opinion, for creating an unbelievable trap album, I feel like the trap artists are required to be there. A perfect example of people, at the time as well, this was definitely a heavy conversation where people, this come out in 2022, and people in 2022 were definitely screaming, oh my gosh, like, you can't keep making an album with Travis Scott, Future, Young Thug, Gunna, etc. And Metro Boomin stuck to his guns, stuck to what he kind of made a noise for in this game. You get what I'm trying to say, but Metro Boomin included the Avengers, and the Avengers came through and gave Metro Boomin a classic. Shout out to Metro for the production. However, I'll just be very excited if 21 Savage is able to replicate the same sort of thing, because I do believe that he's definitely got another classic within his discography. We're looking at his discography currently. For me personally, like Savage Mode, this one obviously has a lot of bangers on there. That's 21 Savage, very raw. His sort of introduction album into the game, mixtape, whatever they want to call it. Issa was an album that I liked. It had Bank Account, Bad Business, FaceTime, a few tracks on there that I liked. It's weird to me that this album comes up as 21 Savage's on Spotify, but Without Warning is a flawless album, classic. Not All Heroes Wear Capes is a classic. I Am, I Was. I mean, like, if you go through the track list, I don't know if it's a classic, but it's a fantastic album, and it meant a lot at the time that it actually did arrive. Savage Mode 2 is hands down a classic. And again, if we look at the features on this album, Drake, Young Thug, Young Nudie, these are the sort of artists that I would like to, have on the next album. What Happened to the Streets? Can you have Drake on an album that is titled What Happened to the Streets, especially after the suing stuff? I don't know, but Young Nudie for sure deserves a spot on the new 21 Savage album. Young Nudie is one of my favorite artists, criminally underrated, and every time him and Savage link up, like, they drop great tunes all the time. Like, what was that track from Heroes and Villains? Umbrella, one of the most underrated tracks from that album. But back to my point, 21 Savage then dropped Her Loss with Drake, which was basically a Drake album that featured 21 Savage, but it was still a fantastic album, and 21 Savage's input, even though it wasn't that much still, it ended up being a great album. I actually tried to browse the internet to see if there's any sort of news we could find out about this album, but I don't think any news has come out regarding features or anything like that. Some people suggesting that he goes back to the dark trap sound, and I'm glad that people are saying it for this particular artist, because people have been telling trap artists to link up with like different types of artists, and I understand you want to see different collaborations, although majority of the time when these specific trap artists link up with other worlds and collaborate, it doesn't usually end up like being a masterpiece in terms of the album as a whole. I think when you look back at trap artists and the classics that have come out of the trap genre, majority of the time is when artists just stay within their lane and feature the artists that we rock with. But I don't really feel like there's any exclusive news. I know that 21 Savage posted this art thing that said it was going to be presented in Basel. I'm not too sure when. I think some people are offended on Reddit. Apparently 21 Savage might have got this album artwork from somewhere else, or it's inspired from somewhere. I'm not too sure. If we do look at the album title, What Happened to the Streets, you can only predict that 21 Savage is going to have a lot to say. A lot of disses are going to be on here. Who's he going to be sending for? I don't know. 21 Savage is the type of rapper at the same time where he's got such an aggressive type of delivery that it kind of sounds like he's actually talking about everyone, but it kind of like, if the shoe fits, then wear it type thing, if you get what I'm saying. A lot of rappers kind of rap in that style where it does sound like they're offending others, but who's to say that they are or not? I would like Drake to be featured on this album. I feel like having Drake on this album definitely makes sense. Drake wasn't on the last album, although we saw their chemistry and how they can collaborate on Her Loss, and I think it would just make sense for Drake to be on there, considering as well Drake definitely has lost like a lot of friendships within the music game apparently, so for him to, you know, be on a Savage tape just makes sense in my opinion. Production by Pierre, that's one thing we've established. There's one track that has Pierre on it. I can only imagine that Metro Boomin and 21 Savage have created a song on this, because they were pictured in the studio not so long ago as well. So yeah, nothing but exciting things really. Is there anything else that I need to touch on regarding this album? I know some people have been asking for the album reaction, and yes, of course, there will be a 21 Savage album reaction. But the thing is, a lot of these reactions have been getting taken down. There's been a delay to it. So I don't know. I'm kind of considering looking at a Patreon account, because at the end of the day, that like I need the content to get out there. There's no point it being blocked and things like that. And especially when you see other people post it and yours is blocked, like there's so much shenanigans that goes on with YouTube, as you can only imagine. But yeah, I think that is about it. If there is anything else that we find out along this week, then obviously I'll be posting more videos. But yeah, what's the album called again? What Happened to the Streets? Out this Friday. 21 Savage. Let's get it.